This video is brought to you by Guitar Center Professional. Whether you're looking to upgrade your restaurant, your studio, your live event space, or you're just a musician looking for some extra equipment, they are nationwide with professional pricing. Hit them up. Their information is below.
I'm going to do an intro into this camera, and then we're just going to talk.
Sure.
Talk about a ton of people.
Sure. Who do we want to start with?
Probably that guy right there. I'm here with this beautiful human, Hoogie, who happens to be a guitar tech for...
Currently, I'm on tour with Zoltan, a Five Finger Death Punch, taking care of him on stage left.
Okay. I have a question that I have never asked you in all the years knowing you. Do you crumple or fold your toilet paper?
Fold.
Where'd the name come from?
The name, it was out of high school. Somebody called me at once, and I was just sort of transitioning out of high school into this world that, you know, I am in now. And somebody started calling me it, and it sort of stuck. It never went away. So nobody in this industry knows me as my real name.
I just learned your real name.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll put it like right below. And
Jeremy
just censored.
Donay is my real name.
There we go.
You know, that's what my family knows me as, but yeah.
You heard it here first.
Yeah, Googie.
Have you always played guitar?
I've never played guitar.
Do you play guitar?
There's no money in playing guitar, I've always said.
So what got you into...
I make people look good.
What got you into this? How'd you get into this?
There was a band when I was sort of graduating high school. They were called Jar. They transitioned their name to Flybanger. They were signed to Columbia Records. And I was really, really good friends with the guitar player. And he needed a guitar tech. And he taught me how to restring his guitar. And I learned how to set up his gear. And I was underage, so I got to go to the bar. And I thought that was the coolest thing ever. And then I started touring when I, you know, out of high school at 18, going on the road. You know, this is cool. I get to go to bars in every city.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
And over the course of time, you meet the next band and the next band. And I've always said you keep doing it until they realize you don't know what you're doing, and then you go to the next band. I've made a career, 27 years of doing this. From them, I got in with Network Records. They had a band called Gob. Then I went out with a band called Treble Charger. The singer of Treble Charger actually managed Sum 41. Got out with them in the early days. I think I was their first guitar tech back in 2000. I worked with Simple Plan a bit, early 2000. Another artist named Sam Roberts, who was pretty big in Canada. And then from there, 2005, I got an opportunity to work for Theory of a Deadman. It was the Gasoline record that took me to the States a lot with them. And every band we opened up for, I ended up getting a phone call after. Stain, Breaking Benjamin, Shinedown. And I basically was 2006. I realized, you know, I need to work in America. That's where the good work is. And ever since, I haven't looked back, you know.
So obviously not from America. And it seems like a lot of people, especially Canadians, they feel like to get the work, you have to go to America, which I think is true in some contexts. But it seems like you found the work in Canada, and that work took you to America.
I was very fortunate to find an artist that was doing a lot down here with Theory of a Deadman, you know. And if it wasn't for them, yeah, I don't know where I would be. Probably just touring the 3 or 4 months out in Canada, maybe working a real job or something like that. But no, I wouldn't change what has happened.
So was the visa process pretty easy, difficult? But since you were with them, I assume it's pretty easy.
I've been very fortunate with them and the bands that I've worked with since. You know, I guess they realize what I do and offer, and they've been, you know, every time I come to a new artist, they've been, you know, that's been part of the deal. They'll give me a visa to come out.
So what's your advice to all your Canadian counterparts that want to be in your position or want to go touring and see that huge obstacle? What would you be your advice to them?
I would say just keep sticking at it. Keep sticking at it with the, you know, bands back home. If you can latch on to a band that comes to America a lot, that has opportunities down here, that's a great way to open a door down here. But, you know, never quit, you know, one day at a time.
Okay, explain to the people who may not know what a guitar tech is. What is a guitar tech?
If you ever go to a concert and you see the guy come out in a black shirt and hand him a new guitar, that's how I always explain it to people back home. What do you really do?
But there's more than just handing a guitar.
I take care of the day-to-day, things for my artist when it comes to his guitar, setups, restrings, all of that. I manage his rig, everything, the ins and outs of what, for instance, right now, what Zoltan needs. Make sure things sound the same every day. His guitars play the same every day for him. And he just walks up there and does what he needs to do for that hour and a half every show.
Can you talk to me about some variables that go into first getting a guitar in tune and then keeping it in tune, especially when you're on the road and you're traveling so much and there's so many different dynamics of, well, the biggest one being weather. And
weather
humidity.
is one big thing. Humidity. A guitar, it's obviously wood, so the neck moves, so truss rod adjustments. Continuously, I go back to the guitar after I've restrung it and set it up for that day. I'll go back to it 2 or 3 times throughout the day before the show and make sure it's stable and, it's holding tune. The neck isn't shifting. Like today it's 63% humidity with, 79 out. So pretty humid, moist day.
All right, settle this debate for me. For the string, do you go under and then tighten it on there when you first string a guitar? Is that the best way, or to keep that string from getting loose? Because I've seen the go through and around and under and then tighten it up
like
that way. Yeah.
No, I've always done the first wrap over and then everything else under.
Okay.
That's how I learned it.
Okay.
There's dudes who do it that way, which I find is just a nuisance to take the string off at the next day. No,
I totally do that.
I don't want to do it that way. That's but what I do necessarily might not be what the next guy wants to do or right. That's the thing. We're all individuals out here. What I do might not be the same as Manson's guy or whoever. So
easiest guitar to tune.
Right now, I'm really enjoying these BC Rich Evertunes. He plays this guitar the entire show. We tune it once at the start of the show, and that's it. He'll play for an hour and a half.
It's a gorgeous guitar.
It is. So this is his main. We have a backup as well. I've only had him go to the backup once since I've been here for 60 plus shows. But this Evertune has been a lifesaver. What I've came from in the past with Shinedown. I love the job I had there, but I was working for Eric and I had like 18 basses, 3 acoustics.
Whoa.
I was doing a change every song on top of whatever else I was doing, from running out acoustics to pianos or muting this or turning on this. Or with him, he plays this the whole show. BC Rich, Shredzilla. I got a backup here if he needs to go to it. Also beautiful.
That's beautiful.
But yeah, this right here has been it's been a nice change of pace the last year.
What is the most frustrating guitar to tune and stay in tune?
Me, I'm not a fan of Floyd Roses. God, I dread when someone's like, I got a Floyd Rose. I'm like, oh, come on. Can we block the bridge? Can we, do we have to?
I've seen a lot of those people that actually do that blocking the bridge thing.
They like the look of it. They like the whatever of that guitar. So they just, I'm okay with that.
What advice would you give to guitar techs that would immediately make their lives easier?
Listen to your artists, don't go changing things. And look what I've done, communication is a big part, I feel. Staying on top, organization. It's just stuff like that,
Yeah.
You're not reinventing the wheel. It's been done like this for a long time. Some guys don't want to change. Some guys don't want, just go in and make them happy.
So
Consistency.
from someone who's been on tour for how many years, you said?
27 years now.
Tour seems like it's a alternate from reality, and I've had so many friends that have had a hard time sustaining it for that long. How do you keep that going and not like get disconnected from reality? And how do you keep your home life and this even?
It's hard. It's always been hard. Touring has always been my first love. since high school. Like I knew I wanted to, do this.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think. I've got some of my best friends I saw a few weeks ago, and we were doing Metallica and stuff like that. And they had tickets to the show. I went and saw them, and they're like, you're the only one who had a dream in high school, and you're still doing it. So it's crazy to think. But I do have 4 kids. So one of the things I try to do back home is I'll get up every morning to say good morning to them before they get on the bus. Call them when they get home, call them at bedtime. I try to reach out and FaceTime. Thank God for FaceTime because, I know stories of guys who started touring in the 80s and they would tour with a phone and walk around the arena and plug it in to try to find a hotline, right? So they can call people. In the 27 years I've toured with, I remember walking around with Skype phones going, oh, I got internet, I can call home, 15 years ago to what we have today. Very blessed to have communication like that and being able to keep in touch with my kids and stuff.
It is a lot easier now than it was before. And it's tough because there's a lot of people who come to me, obviously, especially since this channel, that want to go on tour. And I have a lot of times have a hard conversation with them in the beginning of like, I don't think you want what you think you want. You don't want the 4 a.m. lobby call. You don't want concerts are on nights. They're on weekends. They're on holidays. You're going to miss pivotal life moments in your family. You're going to miss.
I'm going to miss some births. I'm going to miss some birthdays. I'm going to miss, unfortunately, deaths. It's just, it's what we do out here.
It's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. It's a long journey, and some people, it's just not. They'll come out here and realize it's not for them.
So, with all the craziness that happens and constant movement and noise and stuff going on, how do you quiet the noise?
Gosh, the older I get, it's nice to have those moments alone. I keep really busy with my side hustle, which is artist relations. As you know, WB Gear is a company that I formed back in 2006.
Can you explain a little bit about that?
I do artist relations for quite a few brands, from SIT Strings, Rev Amplification. I do outside sales with Intune guitar picks, Bestronix Pro Audio cables, Mental Case, Barefoot buttons, Lizard Spit, just to name a few different products that over time I've started working with, representing. I'm always out here meeting new artists, meeting new, instead of having an artist relations guy in an office. SIT was the first brand that thought it was valuable to have me out here, meeting the artists. I'm here every day. We're on a stage with 4 different artists that they haven't had access to previous. Same with Rev. It's great to bring the brands that I feel like are more family to me to these people out here who become family as well, right?
Yeah.
Connecting family. It's been pretty cool that way.
So from somebody who is so involved with these many companies, especially a string manufacturer, talk to me a little bit about the importance of strings and the correct strings for the correct context. How important is that, and how does someone go about? I mean, it could be overwhelming. It could be like going to Bass Pro and seeing all the lures and bait, and you're like, I just want to go fishing. Like, it could be. Can you simplify that a little bit?
At the end of the day, it's what the artist feels comfortable with.
Sure.
If he feels comfortable with 10 to 46s and that's what he's played, cool. I come in here, he's comfortable with 13 to 66s. Great. Whatever he feels comfortable with, whatever, I'm open to suggestions. Like,
Sure.
Hey, you're tuning down really low on this. What if we bumped it up a gauge to get rid of some of that floppiness? Let's, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, as long as my artist is comfortable, I don't care what he plays.
What do you think is the most common mistake guitar players make when picking strings?
I would say tuning really, really low and strings not being heavy enough. Stuff like that. I think that makes a big difference.
Okay.
Stuff like that. Changing your strings. I think changing regularly, often, helps huge.
Yeah.
Huge with tonality, especially bass players. I gotta say, to me, there's nothing like a new set of bass strings. I know they're costly, but there's nothing like a new set of bass strings.
I'm going to show you some pictures from your Instagram.
Okay.
and you're going to explain what the picture is.
Okay.
Okay? Starting off first with this.
That's just me and the boss the other night.
Yeah?
Zoltan, hanging out, shooting some shit. Sanjay, an amazing videographer that I worked with 6 years with Shinedown. We were in his backyard, and he came out and captured some awesome moments. But that was us mid-show hanging out over here.
What's going on here?
I was hanging out with a gentleman from Vegas. I consider him like the mayor of Vegas, Red Cup Jeff. And I literally flew in to start working with these guys in April. And I was going down to rebuild the rigs. And Red Cup, you're here? You're coming out with me tonight. And we ended up going to the Scorpions. They were doing a residency. As you see, Mickey D in that photo. We ended up going out that night after the show. And I don't drink anymore. So I ended up becoming the designated driver to not only Mickey D, but Matt Sorum, who was in the car. And yeah, it was an interesting night. I think I was up for over 24 hours hanging out with those guys. Driving around. Oh, 100%. Hanging out with a legend like Mickey and Matt and just hearing them like, oh, remember when Motorhead and Guns toured together back in the early 90s or the stories? Like, that's one of the coolest things about this job is the relationships you ended up, making over that time, right? Yeah. Being able to hang out with these people that like you grow up listening to, those full circle moments. I am far too blessed with too many of those in life.
Yeah. Next one.
That was I think that was the second show or first show I did with these guys.
Okay.
And
looks like it's Metallica.
it was Metallica. Cody took that one, who is our tour manager for these guys. I came in and I just came, I ran into Chris Cale and a gentleman by the name of Pierre. It was October 13th. We played Shinedown, performed in Vegas at the MGM. And I ran into those guys and we were shooting shit. And they asked me, what are you doing the rest of the year? And I said, it's too early to go home. I think I'm going to look for some more work. And Chris Cale looked at me and goes, you want to work for Zoltan? And I remember I was like, I don't know, do I? But I don't regret that decision. Coming over here, Zoltan has been amazing. It's been a real pleasure getting to know him, getting the opportunity to work with him. Very, very smart man. That was we were just every day with Shinedown, our crew would get up and jam. What happens at this level, you'll start to realize, is the bands don't come and do sound check anymore. And that was just, we were crew jamming one day and somebody captured that pretty neat photo of me playing Eric's bass.
All right. Walk us through.
My home away from home. I've had this workbox since 2009. Mental Case built it. Matt over there and Jimmy, they did an amazing job. Recently, I just went and brought it there before coming out with Five Finger at the beginning of the year, and we redid the whole lid and everything and updated it. Some of the things I really enjoy now is the new tuner setup I've got. It goes from the guitar into this equalizer. I turn this thing on for acoustics when I need a little boost. When the band's jamming, I need to get a little more out of the guitar. I can do that. From there, I've got the new Canvas tuner from Walrus Audio. Really, really enjoy it. I didn't realize how awesome it was, and the nice people over at Walrus Audio hooked me up with that the beginning of the year. And since it's probably one of my new favorite tuners next to the Peterson. You got the staple, everybody's got the Boss, Wazacraft, and then, you can't go wrong with a strobe tuner. The Peterson HD Stomp is what I've been using. To power everything up, I've got the EBS Runstead up here. I like it because it has USB outs on it, on top of, being able to power up 10 different pedals. Up top there, I've got the Vivco time box, always keeping time, and just some trinkets and things. The kids, the couple, here and there. Captain Canuck. I've always got this foam block here with all my readily access tools that I need right away. This is one of my new favorite things. It's replaced canned air. I no longer use canned air, so I can use this. You want to blow? Yeah. E.T., I got a few E.T. things, the kids with E.T.
Yeah, even with
got the E.T. tattoo. just as a kid, man, that was one of those movies that always hit. You know, always love ET. But all the tuners go down here. I got the Positive Grid Spark. This is probably one of the best amps I've had, you know, in this workbox. And then back in here, I don't know if you can see it all. I keep like all my chargers and everything. My gloves when I'm not using them. Dixon, they are great to me. But yeah, tool-wise, I've got a lot of great tools from StewMac. I got a lot of great tools from a smaller company called Skyscraper. They make some different things. Things I use every day. All the StewMac stuff in here. But over here we got his rig. I make a Bible with each guy.
I was going to totally ask you about that. This is so cool.
I call it the Bible, and I keep track of every show. I can tell you, you know, from Shinedown since 2015 to today, what he plays, wireless, guitar. For Zoe, because he doesn't do any of his switching, I do it all here at the rig. The songs with the yellow notation are the songs I do switches on. Everything lives in this rack here. We've got the 2 floorboards. This is where I do his switches. For me, when I came into the mix, there was no rehearsals. It was like, here's a board tape, learn the song. So I took the timestamps of the songs to learn where he does his punches. And I made notes. What I always do is I start a stopwatch on the 4 count, and that's how I keep track. It's also great too if somebody comes over and, hey, you know, whatever. If I lose, I don't want to lose track of the song, so I'm able to be like, oh, I'm at a minute 30 something. The solo comes at 2:01 or something. I got a second before I really have to focus. But so for this, the rig goes from the guitar. He's using the Shure AD4D. Out of that into multi-selector. I got a main, a backup. I got a 100-foot cable over here in case I have to go to it, and one for mute. Out of that, I've got an AB box, a Lely AB box in the back, which goes and hits both Kempers in the front. So both Kempers are being hit at both times. Out of the left and right of both Kempers, it goes into the radial backtrack. So if I have to go from one to the other, there's no issues with front of house. I can go to the second, boom, like that. Everything's powered up in here by Furman. I got a Furman battery backup, so if I do lose power or something goes wrong, I can, you know, easily shut the Kempers off with no issue. All the cabling in here is Bestronics Per Audio. I've worked with them for years. They're great. I use this up here. This is just a bright switch from Rockstock, giving me some light here. Coda Grip guitar hanger. I love the Coda Grip guitar hanger. During the show, when I'm standing here doing the punches, I'll leave the backup here, so I don't have to turn around or whatever. If I got to go to the backup, I hand it to them. I'm good to go. You can give you a peek in the back if you want. As you see, it's pretty simple. Everything comes into here. That out of the way. But yeah, everything comes into here. There's the AB box I was telling you about. Out of the Kemper, we do use the radial cab link, which is in there. So I can power 2 412s on stage. When we're doing these headline shows, I've actually got 2 412s behind them, just for moving some sound and volume in case, more so for Ivan if he pulls out an ear so he can hear the guitars. But yeah, you know, that's pretty much the back of the rig. Show you the vault here. For him, rolling with the BC Rich, we've got his main, Shredzilla, Evertune, Dunlop guitar picks, backup, same thing. He's got a custom pickup in it that we've been working with. It's his own thing. It's called the Thunderson. We switched all his guitars over to that. But yeah, that's pretty much what we got going on stage.
Is that the backup to the backup?
This is just something that was in here when I got here. It's a Floyd Rose. And I've never, you know, I've left it in here. It's blocked, as it should be.
What does that mean, blocked?
So
don't know.
there's something inside here that blocks the Floyd from going up or down. So it stays in tune. You know, you break a string, it's not going to go out of tune. God forbid you break one. Straps, he's using these Red Monkey straps. These, what are these? These Neotech wireless pack holders. They've always been great to us. Cool. But yeah, what else? Leather mat here. I recently upgraded that on the workbox. Guy by the name of Jeff at Two Brothers Leather made me that. Got a lot of Music Nomad tools out here as well. But yeah, pretty much this is what we got going on.
Thank you so much,
Dude,
for having me. They're about to make some noise. If people want to follow you and follow your career, where can they follow you at?
Hoogie on the road. Pretty much across all social medias you can find me.
Or come to a 5-figure death show near you. Look to the right, or the guy in black handing off the guitar to Zoltan, and yell out his name.
Come say hi. I'll toss you a pic.